Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. I kind of almost didn't want to go on this walk this morning. Kind of tweaked my ankle a little bit last night. Just enough to make it uncomfortable to walk on. And I think I did the right thing. Instead of either not doing it or cutting back, I pushed to walk even further today. And honestly, it's not too painful right now. So I guess that's a good thing. We've been hitting some pretty heavy subjects here lately on this channel. And I worry sometimes that it's become too, getting people too panicked. Too falling too deeply into fear. And I just want to say that we've got to have the self-control to not do that. Because falling victim to fear leads to control. They know that. That's what the last 2 years has been all about. Terrifying you over something that may or may not exist so that you'll comply with their orders. We have to be focused and realize that we are in fact living in a rapidly changing and a rapidly falling apart civilization, world, country, nation. Virtually every aspect of our civilization is experiencing some kind of downturn, some kind of collapse, some kind of chaos. That's just the reality. It's not being pessimistic, it's being a realist. And so that's what we need to be focusing on, is not allowing ourselves to, fall victim to fear, to become depressed, because, that's not going to do us any good. It's not going to help you any. And it's certainly not going to make you feel any better. Sure, we can have a little worry, little anxiety, things like that, but getting to that point to where we are, really just in a depression because we're terrified of what's going on, isn't going to do us any good. Now, I know that some of you are going to counter back and say, yeah, but I'm old, I'm disabled, I'm single with kids, I live in an apartment, I don't have land, I don't know anyone around me like this, I'm at a disadvantage. And again, not to sugarcoat things, yeah, you are. You most definitely are. Does that mean that because of that disadvantage you should give up? Does that mean that you're not going to make it? No, not at all. History has shown us that through many different types of disasters, that human beings that aren't as physically prepared as you think, but have it up here, can make it, and people that are kind of physically prepared, but not really mentally, they lose it. So don't let that lie that just because you don't have a off-grid homestead or something that you're not going to be able to make it, because that's just not true. Now, it is true, though, that the world is falling apart. I don't know how else to look at that. We're seeing stuff all the time. I was just reading yesterday that it sounds like something right out of Red Dawn, the movie. And the one in the 80s. I never watched the new one, but I heard it was awful, so I didn't watch it. Venezuela is really trying to buddy up with Russia, and they're hosting a war game, a military sniper competition in Venezuela and China and Iran and Russia and a bunch of other their buddies, probably North Korea, who knows, are going to be there. that's in our hemisphere. Sounds like something out of Red Dawn, you know. They're doing some kind of exercise. Just waiting for the right moment to strike. Now, I'm not saying that's what's going on, because honestly, it doesn't appear to be that way. But what I think we're seeing is we're seeing more signs that America has lost its grip on the planet as being the big boy on the block, you know? Everyone respects them. Do you think that Russia and China and Venezuela and Iran and all those countries would have done this with the previous president, or with, you know, other strong presidents during strong times of our history? Probably not, because these other countries were like, we better not rock the boat, you know. We better not push it that far. But now, between our leader and the condition of our nation, economically, militarily, everything, you know, what's stopping them? We also have this really fervent push for this reset. You know, I talked about yesterday how this year is the goal this year for the Great Reset, the Agenda 2030 plan for economic and whatever development and environmental development and everything. This year is to be the turning point in history. The UN signed on to that. World Economic Forum signed on to that. Countless leaders all over the world, including Joe Biden and Justin Trudeau and many, many others, have all signed on to that. That the year 2022 will be the major turning point in human history. And then we sit back and we wonder, why is all this stuff happening? Why is it all crazy all the time? What do you think? They flat out told us why. They've been telling us what to expect for a decade or two, at least. I'm not a doomsdayer. In fact, personally, I'm a very positive, optimistic person. I've always pushed myself to be. So it's not like all this stuff, it's like, this fear porn, it's bad. No, I dislike it. In my own personal life, I see this stuff happening, and you know, I battle. It's a battle within inside of me to not panic, to not worry. Many of you might say, well, yeah, but you're one of these YouTubers that's got the perfect homestead and a perfect, you know, everything prepped and stuff. Not hardly. Not hardly. We're still working on stuff. We're still behind. I'm behind on stuff. Man, I don't want the bottom to fall out today. I got a lot of stuff that I need to get done that would make life for us a lot better. Little gaps and holes in our systems. So don't think it's because, you know, I got it all worked out. The reason why I do that is because I've learned in my life that worrying, panic, fear, all this stuff isn't really beneficial, especially in the long term. They may have their place to increase our awareness and our alertness in a short-term situation. You know, you're out in the woods like this and you're cautious about animals. In fact, I was checking the other day, just in these woods that I'm at, in the last 60 days, there's been about 8 bear sightings. So, you know, I'm not walking through here afraid, but I'm definitely alert. And I have protection, so I you know, if something happens. But the point is that little bit of anticipation and anxiety and fear can be beneficial But if you allow it to take control of you and it sticks around too long, it's not good. So we can't allow it to do that. We know things are bad. There was that movie back in the 70s, you know, things are bad. The stock market is down. I can't remember the name of it. Someone will probably remember for me. And that's true. That's how it is. And the odds of it all getting turned around right away are almost non-existent. The odds of it turning around ever are pretty bad odds of that too. They don't want to turn this around. Klaus Schwab has made it very clear. There is no going back to normal. We're not going back to normal. We're not doing that. And so quit sitting around waiting saying, oh, you know, we just got to ride this out. Because eventually it's going to be back to normal. Ain't going back to normal, folks. They already made that clear. It's not happening. And they're going to have to bring us further down to get to a point that they want it to be. Now, this is all based on their plans. And we don't necessarily always agree that their plans are going to be that successful. Based on what they want. They've still got some work to bring us down a little bit further. So don't sit around in constant fear. Do something, learn something, watch a video on how to do something that can help you become more prepared. Get a book about some type of skill. Get up and do something. Exercise. You know, work on your house of, you know, maybe it's just your apartment. You know, come up with a plan of how to make it more secure. Come up with a plan of, you know, figure out where you can store more things. You know, what can you do to heat your little apartment or your house come this winter? If there's, you know, a gas shortage, natural gas shortage, what are you going to do? Work on these problems. Spend your energy and your time doing that and not sitting there worrying, shutting down, disconnecting because, you know, you're not some super high speed ex-military, you know, all tacked out, you know, super prepper. You don't have to be. Just keep moving forward, putting one step in front of the other. In the end, that's how we survive. And so keep doing that in your life. Keep growing intellectually, spiritually, physically. You know, that's when I say at the end, the whole preparedness thing. That's what that means. Push yourself. Take this time, take this anxiety, take all this that's going on and use it to make you alert. Use it to make you aware of what's going on and to give you the motivation to get yourselves prepared. Because could be wrong. It's possible. But I think we're about to see a real turn of events in the somewhat near future. And we need to be ready for that, folks. I don't think it's going to get better for quite a while. Folks, get your houses in order. Prepare mentally, spiritually, and physically. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next video.